Hey guys, it's Pat Largo with Pat Largo's Comedians Uncorked here in Florida. And we're going to do another great interview today with a really cool cat from the West Coast. I tried to have him on a couple of weeks ago. It was like my first, I was like a Zoom virgin. I was scared. I didn't know what to do, login info, this, that, the other thing. So finally, I'm wearing my big boy pants and I got it all sorted out. This guy with me here is a comedian, actor, writer, most importantly, a father, Mr. Jack Assadourian. Thanks for joining me.
Whoa, woo! What's up, man?
This is great. Now, you're in California, correct?
I am.
Now, I always like to ask, with everything going down, how are you and yours and everything going down with the pandemic and stuff? Everyone okay?
Everyone is great. I personally don't know anyone that's been sick. It's been a rough 2 months. The first 2 months we were on lockdown. We didn't go anywhere, and stuff's been changing around. I've been traveling a little bit more. I went to Phoenix. I went to Vegas twice. I'm actually going to Vegas tomorrow.
Okay.
I'm following wherever it's open.
Good. And same here. I don't know anyone who's had COVID because they're all dead.
What?
I'm sorry. So on that note, how many people has Governor Newsom in California killed that you know?
Nobody.
I'm just checking. Okay, just check. Yes, because I gotta tell you, it's the Wild West in Florida, man. Because our governor is like, "Fuck, open shit up," and It's like now all along the golf courses were open, and I agree with that. You're wide open. They're doing it one per golf cart. You're not touching inside the hole on the green, and golf courses were killing it here. But they closed everything: strip clubs, bars, restaurants, malls, blah blah blah, the whole 9 yards. And then all of a sudden they're like, let's go in phases and let's do it. And now like COVID's up again, people are dying again, all that shit like that. But between that, dude, and I'm stuck here trying to get unemployment.
Yeah.
Through the state of Florida, when they told me to stay home and save lives, that I did a gig. I was hosting a gig last Saturday. That was my first time with a mic in my hand on stage since Friday, March 6th.
Wow.
And I know. So I'm jealous seeing you guys all over the place, but I'm trying to get money that's owed to me, and I feel like a prostitute here in Florida, just abusing my body every day to try and get a couple of bucks, man, that's owed to me. But I'm glad you guys are doing well, and I'm glad you're healthy. How is the comedy scene in California now with everything going on?
It's still shut down. It's shut down completely.
Really?
We were gonna open up the Haha Comedy Club. My parents own the Haha Comedy Club in North Hollywood, California. We were gonna open it up because we were told we could open it up. Well, we're only allowed to open it up for food and drinks, no entertainment.
Wow.
So like we're still shut down in LA when it comes to comedy. It's really sucks, man. It really sucks. Like the last big show I did was actually in Florida at the Miami Improv, March 16th. The next day they announced the lockdown. I flew to LA. The next day I changed my flight, and I haven't done a real show till recently. I went to Phoenix. I drove to Phoenix. That's how much I was itching to get on stage.
Yeah. My
buddy was headlining, and I just did it. I drove to do a guest spot. That's how bad I wanted to go on stage.
Wow.
And it felt amazing. It felt like I was living again, man. I was like feeling trapped. I was a prisoner. I needed to talk. I was depressed. It was awful.
It's like it's a drug. It's cathartic, right? Like you said, you drove for a few minute guest spot. That's what you need it, don't you?
Yeah. 6 hours I drove there and then I drove back just to get up on stage. And I have it on video. It felt amazing, dude.
Well, and I'm glad you said that. So people starting out doing open mics or people going who, thinking, oh, I want to be on stage like in New York City now. I want them to hear stories like this. Like, oh, you mean you drove like 6 hours to do a few minutes and drove back again? Yeah.
So, and no money. I didn't get paid. I didn't sell merch. I just literally did it to make myself feel normal again, and one of the best decisions I've ever made.
Well, dude, I was talking with the Daily Show's warm-up comic. I had him on one of my first interviews, Vince August, and he's from Jersey. And he was saying the same thing about New York, New Jersey. Clubs are closed. For some reason, I thought like you guys, like down here, we're doing 50% capacity for the clubs.
That's amazing.
Which is great. Yeah, come on down. I mean, like, like I joke, it's 50% of the capacity, 100% of the laughter, because people are still having a great time. But for some reason, I thought there was something open in California. But that sucks, man. And I'm talking about that. I'm glad you mentioned that. I forgot that. Yeah, your parents own a comedy club out there. And so you were just growing up, right? All your life, you were just, is this what you always wanted to do, stand-up comedy?
Not at all. I never wanted to do it. I grew up in it, like literally washing dishes, cleaning the bathrooms, like from the bottom.
Right.
And I just hated being there. I hated being there. And as I got older, when I was 18, I started working for T-Mobile. I became a district manager. I was really successful. And then I opened up my own cell phone store, and I was doing great. And then I got married, had a divorce, and then that's when everything fell apart. And I was partying a lot. I was doing drugs. I started DJing again. I was DJing at a strip club.
Nice.
And then it was like a really dark time for me. And I got divorced. Didn't have my son with me. So I asked my dad for money for therapy. I wanted therapy because I was thinking like dark things. And then my dad's like, "Are you crazy? You know how expensive therapy is?" He goes, "Go on stage, open mic, and then that's your therapy." And that's how it started.
Do you see? Now, of course, as a disclaimer, because I don't want anyone to kill themselves and have someone try to sue me like they're relatives, but that is correct. Your dad, very wise words. And he's like, but I love how typical parents, right? They're like, "No, man, that costs too much money. Just go do this."
Yeah.
So, but how now? When he said that, did you have any idea? Maybe you did growing up in the comedy club to do stuff, but did you have any idea of like, oh, when I get up there and I hold that microphone, this is what I want to talk about?
No, honestly, I mean, I did probably have like a cheat code because I watched stand-ups from open mic level to like Andrew Dice Clay. I've seen Eddie Murphy, Chappelle. I've seen them all live, you know? So I saw the mechanics of people getting up, getting the mic, putting it back, like all this basic stuff, you know?
Right.
So I did feel comfortable being on stage because at the time in high school, I was a director of assemblies, and I was always very comfortable public speaking. But the problem was I was at the time I was very dark. So I was up there like just really dark, I'm divorced, I'm sad, I'm alone, and then out of nowhere the jokes started coming. And I moved up pretty fast in the game. I've only been doing it for 10 years now.
Okay.
And I'm doing pretty well. So yeah.
No, that's I'll always love to find out, and that's neat, especially knowing you were going down that path.
Yeah.
Like you said, just kind of like that introspection, and maybe, you know, God forbid, not doing anything horrible, but I mean, like just thinking about the things going on in your life, like you said, with drugs, strip clubs, which sounds fun to me. That's a Florida lifestyle. That's a Tuesday in Tampa.
It was fun, but then it got out of control, you know?
Exactly. No, that's fantastic. And you're a dad, and it's great. I don't have a child. I only have a dog, and I take care of my 91-year-old mother. So I tell people I have 2 kids. Kind of I do. But I love hearing stories about how folks did it. And so far, yours is the winner by just going down that route. And your dad saying, "No, just get on stage. It'll clear the cobwebs and it'll clear your mind." Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It is cathartic. It's a beautiful thing. Now, have I seen you back before all this COVID and pandemic stuff? You were doing like comedy festivals, correct? Like all over the place?
Yeah. I my first festival I did was was the Big Pine Comedy Festival in Arizona.
Okay.
And I learned, I loved it because it felt like a summer camp for comedians, and it was just really, it was really exciting to see how comics were helping each other with jokes, with material, with connections, with anything they knew, and I love that vibe. So I decided to start my own festival in Los Angeles because I had the tools to do it, and I wanted everyone to have the same opportunities that I had. So I made some phone calls. I talked to a bunch of comics that I know. Like the first year, we had Ken Jeong from The Hangover. The Wayans brothers came by. Brian Callen, Eric Griffin, a bunch of big names.
Oh, wow.
And then I had 27, we call them rising stars. And they got to perform in front of industry. And I hooked him up. Vince August was actually on it, the first year I believe, and this year was supposed to be the third year, but because of COVID, we had to postpone it till December.
Right. But, now, which one was that? Was that the North Hollywood? Which one was that?
The NoHo Comedy Festival.
Right, the NoHo Comedy Festival. Right.
NoHo Comedy Festival.
Okay.
The first year we did it was more of a celebration of my parents being in the NoHo Arts District for 30 years.
Wow.
So I did that for them, and then it just became an annual thing because everyone's like, you need to bring it back. This is great for the community. The police department had our back. We were sponsored by Bud Light, sponsored by a bunch of marijuana dispensaries.
Perfect.
It's a really fun time of party. I pay for all the hotels for the comics that come out of town. I pay for all their meals. They get industry panels. They meet and greets. They do like 3 live shows with industry in the audience, and it's just a great opportunity for comics that aren't working like in Hollywood to get seen. You know, because there's comics from all over, like in Florida, that they don't get these opportunities. So that's why I started it.
No, that's great, and it's a hell of a ride, right? To try to make like you said, to create this event. It's a beautiful event, but man, it's an undertaking, isn't it?
Oh, it's so much. The first year I had a stroke, like a heart attack, from stress.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to go to the hospital because it was I had like an irregular heartbeat and I was having pain, so I went to the doctor and they told me to take it easy.
Yeah. Oh, thanks, Doc. I appreciate that. It's like,
I'm not even making money off of this.
10 years of, he's like 10 years of post-grad school, and he's telling me to take it easy. All right, here's your $100 copay, Doc. How is it looking for 2021, this festival?
Well, we still haven't done 2020 because of this whole thing.
Oh, okay. So you think you might be able to do it this year?
Yeah, we're definitely gonna do it because we already had over 300 submissions, and we still had another month and a half of submissions.
Okay.
But when COVID happened, people stopped submitting, so I stopped submissions, and I'm gonna reopen them when stuff starts opening up in LA. So we're gonna give people an opportunity to submit, and then we're gonna do a three-day festival.
Wow, that's so dope. Now, do you know maybe what part of 2020?
I'm thinking December, as far as I can go till we're not open at all right now, and I don't want to do a festival where you have to be social distancing, where like we're 6 feet apart, and it's gonna be weird. So I want to try to push it as far as I can to December, because I definitely want to do it in 2020 because this year I think we need this festival more than anything in LA.
Yes, everywhere. And I got 2 questions before I forget. First off, that's awesome. I'll get with you before that, and I'll check you out on social media, or maybe we can get a number and we can text each other. But let me know when that's coming to fruition, and we'll do one of these again, and we'll plug it, and we'll just send it out to some of my other big name friends of mine too that might be able to do a little something. I don't know, but we'll promote the hell out of it. Okay?
Yeah, for sure.
I saw some real gnarly scenes when I was watching live feeds and live CBS News in LA a couple weeks ago. How crazy or close was rioting and looting like to your area?
To my area, not too close. I mean, but it's about 15 minutes away, so it's not. It's a lot of the protests have been very peaceful in our area. I live in Glendale, California, but when the rioting happened, I was actually in Phoenix. I actually had to walk through the rioting in Phoenix because my hotel was in downtown. And it was terrifying because I had to. The cops are coming this way, and then the rioters are going that way, and then my hotel's here, and I'm walking this way because my Uber wouldn't take me to my hotel because it's blocked off. So I had to walk through the riots, right? And I had to like act like I was rioting just so I can get through. I was like, yeah, fuck them. But I was trying to get to safety. I was terrified.
That would have been kind of hilarious. You would have got pepper sprayed and shit. You're like, no, I'm just fucking with you.
Yeah, and it was so scary. I actually posted videos about it. It felt like The Purge. Remember the movie?
Yeah.
It felt like that, and there was women that were freaking breaking shit. It was I was so I felt like I was like, oh my god.
No. If chicks are breaking stuff, those are the ones I don't want to hang out with, man. Because
and I'm a big guy, and I was like, I was terrified of these women. Like they're scary.
Well, I mean, just to say the sentence, I had to walk through the riot. That just sounds crazy.
Yeah, it was crazy. And I was like, let's get a different hotel. And you know what's crazy? My car was in a parking lot across the street, and they vandalized the whole parking lot, but they didn't touch my car. So I was so like relieved.
So they're fans of comedy.
I guess maybe they saw my California plates. I don't know. Like this guy's from Cali.
Yeah, right. Well, yeah, I'm glad you're alive, for God's sake. But now, hey, real quick, because now I know you said you were at the Miami Improv, and I wish I knew you back then in March, because I would have probably driven down there just maybe to say hi if I could have had a chance. But
yeah, I was actually there for a whole week. I did the Comedy Inn.
Okay.
I did that one. I did this couple of bar shows in North Beach. I'm not sure. Well, yeah, I did the Miami.
We got that. Now, a buddy of mine owns the Laugh Factory. The Laugh Factory, Jesus. The Laugh-In Comedy Cafe in Fort Myers. Jamie Morgan.
Oh, really?
Chris Cope was just there last week.
I love him.
But yeah, if you ever get a chance, I don't know if you know Jamie, but it's a great club. And he remodeled it literally just about with his own hands. He's one of those kind of guys.
Yeah.
And it's all updated and gorgeous. So if you're getting a chance to get it to Fort Myers, they love comedy.
I would love to go anywhere right now.
Yeah, I'm with you. But my question is, though, you now between L.A., Vegas, I know you were there for your birthday. Happy belated birthday. Arizona, you went to Miami in March, but do you also tour the rest of the continental U.S.?
Yeah, I've done the Springfield, Missouri's.
Have you done the Ames, Iowa shit and that kind of stuff?
I haven't done that, but I would love to.
Iowa's cool. I did radio in Iowa for 9 months until we got let go. But I was in the Quad Cities, and this is like in the mid-'90s, so I was like mid-20s. I'm like, oh, let's party. And it is a slower place, at least it was back then, but I must admit, the people were great. But like, it was a good family scene, but no one told me that the summers, that summer happened to be like 100 degrees most days. And then they kept saying this, wait till the fall, Pat, you're going to love the fall. Well, that particular year, it went from summer right to winter.
Oh, wow.
And it was like days of, today's high is -5. And I go, oh. So that was my only time I was glad to be fired in radio and just get myself right back to Tampa because that was brutal. But I love it. Now, places in California, I know you've been to, like, I'm sure all the big venues, but you've done the Ice House out there?
Oh, yeah. I actually, before all this happened, I had a weekly show there.
You did?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, because I'm just trying to look at all these different great scenes. Now, I know you do the Laugh Factory there. Do you do the Comedy Store?
I do the Comedy Store. I'm not a paid regular, but I do spots there, yeah.
Okay. No, it's just good to know, man. It's just exciting. I just love talking about it. I love talking about just how people start and just their careers. I'm glad you're doing well. Some big names that you've been, any big names you've been working with or opening for, or even that you want to?
The most recent person I got to open for was my buddy Craig Robinson. You know Craig Robinson?
Yes.
Hot Tub Time Machine guy, The Office.
Yes.
Yeah. We actually did the Irvine Improv like February. Yeah, February.
Okay.
And it was such a funny because he had me host one of the shows, and then he did an hour. He killed it. And then what I heard him say was, when he handed off the mic, he said, what I heard him say was, do more time. I said, okay, that's kind of weird. But what he really said was, get my towel. So he did like an hour, and then I did 15 more minutes after he did, and then I killed. I get off stage, he goes, where's my towel? I go, what do you mean? I thought you said do more time. He goes, oh my God, that's hilarious. I thought I told you to get my towel. I go, oh shit. He's like, what the fuck is Jack doing? Is Jack trying to show me up?
That's like a Mark Norman story. You ever hear the Mark Norman story when he opened for Seinfeld?
No.
He opened for Seinfeld because Mark is great. He's got his new Out to Lunch, is his new special on YouTube. And I gotta tell you, he's really clean, and he's one of those quick, almost like a setup punchline kind of guy. Oh. I love his style. But he was doing a quick story about that where he was working with Seinfeld. And you know, Jerry is Everything is prim and proper, right?
Yeah.
And Jerry told him, hey, you do this much time. When you do this much time, you get off, and then I'll go on. So he did his time. I think it was like 15 minutes of time, right? He gets off stage, and he's looking for Jerry, and he doesn't hear anyone say anything. So he asks a guy associated with the show, where's Jerry? He goes, I don't know. So he goes, well, what should I do? He goes, I'd do more time if I were you. This guy wasn't even a part of the show. He just goes, oh, I would do more time. So, yeah. And you're opening for Jerry Seinfeld.
Oh, my God.
So the truncated version is he goes back out. He does a few more minutes. He does a great job. He comes back in. Jerry looks at him, doesn't say anything at all, goes up on stage, and Mark says, I'm freaking out. He goes, I talked to his assistant. And he goes, what do I do? And basically, I think he said something like, well, you fucked up is what you did. So, and he said one good thing about Jerry is, I was so nervous in the green room afterwards, like we were leaving together because we had to do another show the next night. And he goes, the best thing about it was, he said something like, don't do that again or something like that. And then from then on, he just drops it. He doesn't bring it up again. He just moves forward. But Norman was like that. He goes, I thought I just wrote my own death warrant right there doing that. So those are great stories.
Those are great, yeah.
I love it.
I remember one time I was opening up for Marlon Wayans in Phoenix.
Oh, wow.
And I went up there and I ran the light because I didn't see it. I really did. Like, every comic says that, but yeah. I really didn't see the light. So I go up there. I think I did I was supposed to do 15. I did 25 maybe.
Oh, shit. And
then I get off stage and Marlon's like, man, they ain't here to see you.
That's funny, though. And sometimes you don't see the light. You're exactly right, man. I love these shows. I could just talk like this all day with you. And I'm glad we got a chance to talk about this. Again, we will get with you later on in the year when you start to promote the was it the NoHo
Comedy Festival?
Okay. And if I win the lottery between now and then, I'll just fly myself out. I just want to see it. I want to witness it.
Yeah.
Hey, if you got 3 minutes for a hack from Tampa, I'll do it.
There you go.
But real quick, how can people get a hold of you? Social media, see all your stuff, and then eventually see you in person when all the smoke clears.
Everything is my social media is Jack Jr. Comic, JackJrComic. And for the NoHo Comedy Festival, it's nohocomedyfestival.com.
And just that simple. I love it. And is it also jackjrcomic.com, right? The website?
Yeah. But my website is under construction right now. The guy that was working on it is being an asshole. So
I thought you were going to say the COVID got him. I would have wanted that. So
say that then.
Well, listen, Jack Assadourian, listen, man, thank you so much for taking time out. And
man, thank you.
Thank you, and happy pre-Father's Day to you.
Oh, yeah. You too.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And good luck with everything. Let's be in touch. And thank you so much for being on here with Comedians Uncorked.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you.